bad.
Hey, you know, sometimes you gotta just get into it. I like how the intro music has a little groove to it.
I do. It's mellow. Yeah, I like it.
A little lo-fi hip hop. Shout out to Copart on the beat, doing a damn thing. Welcome back. I mean,
Welcome back.
you
Where
had
you
a little
been?
me me here in this very room, 5 to 6 days a week. Here is
Okay.
where I've been.
Okay.
Where have
Okay.
you been?
Oh, I've been a mighty places.
No, did you see
I had a
something
I've
mighty
been
fine?
up in the I've been up in the mountains
Yeah,
and up in them.
yeah.
And I don't know what it if it's the water that's too pure, the air. I don't know, but it has done a number on my skin. Oh, you gonna highlight it? Okay, get into it.
I thought, yeah.
I don't know if you can really tell, but
Looked
it's
like you're glowing to me.
well, that's lighting. That's the
Oh,
light.
okay.
But
Okay.
but that's all right.
Yeah. Okay.
I'm up in my water intake. Okay, it's gonna be what it's gonna be.
We'll go back there. We'll go back there. Oh, so, but did you have fun?
Oh, I had a blast. I had a blast. I went, did my favorite thing. One of my favorite things was went snowmobiling. Got my vroom
Yeah.
vroom on and vroom 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 on the top of the world. It was amazing. It
Okay.
snowed a little bit every day, but
Okay.
up there the weather is different. So it's cold but not cold.
Isn't it, dog? It's 29 degrees up in the mountains. You're
And
like,
no coat on.
no coat. You're like, you know what? I'm gonna put on just a tank top and a
And
hoodie.
some yeah,
And go,
and some slides and
yeah,
I
yeah.
we Gucci. Yeah. So
Everybody up there, like, I remember the first time I went skiing, I came down that mountain, I was like, take this shit off. It's like, God, it's so much. What is hot up here? I would take 29 in Colorado over
any day.
42 in Dallas any day.
The day we made it, the day we came to Dallas on last week. I don't know. It was cold.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, but like you said, it was like 40 some degrees. It was colder here than any day that I was up in the mountains. So no, it's beautiful there. It's beautiful. So
Yeah.
yeah. But I'm
Well,
back. We
good.
back.
I'm good. I'm a big fan of the mountains. I'll be heading there soon. I don't know
Oh yeah.
when, but I'm going.
Hey.
I'm
Oh
going.
yeah. Oh
Maybe
yeah.
football season. I'm a Broncos fan, so
Okay.
I
I'm
got
I'm gonna try. It's my plan to try skiing. Actually, I've never actually tried to ski, so I hope to plan to. I'm gonna try to ski the next time. We'll
you
see.
know what I learned about skiing?
What?
The poles just gonna mess you up because you out here with the poles and you trying to and see the poles don't really do much for you. The poles are really for you can be like, once you stop, you can do stuff or you can take your shoes off. So really, if you watch, because then you'll be going down the mountain and here comes some little kid and he's just like wee with no poles. And so I'm sitting here like, man, this little bitty 5-year-old just mashing past me on the mountain. Like, so I put both poles in my hand, right? And I just let it do what it naturally does.
Just glide.
Yeah, because the thing about skiing is you're in control, but you're not in control. Because you're sliding.
In that life.
Yeah, because you're sliding. Think about it in regular life with friction. Once you start sliding, the panic button goes off. You're like, shit, I can't stop. But then you have to realize, like, skiing is you can stop. I mean, you ain't gonna just you got to hit them with the shh. So I'm coming down the mountain the last time, dog, and I get it. I get what they're saying. Like I lean this way and push my foot out. I go to the left. I lean this way, push my foot out. I go to the right. So now I'm coming down the mountain, dog. I'm just smashing both sides, right? Come all the way down. My buddy's
Let me
like,
see your form. Wait, let me see your form again.
okay.
Okay. Lean. Bob.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. And you do when you want to slow down, you do them like this. You know what I'm saying? And then And so I was coming down, dog. I'm telling you, I was so proud of myself because he was like, "You ready to go?" And so I like came down, and it would look like some shit from the Olympics, dog. I came down, I said, big snow waves.
Oh yeah.
I was like, "Yeah, I'm ready to go."
Yeah.
I was like, "Oh."
Well, I used to skate, so I'm figuring.
Same thing.
Yeah, it ought to
Same
be
thing.
just like
Yeah,
skiing.
it's same thing. You gonna be up there. You're gonna be like, oh snap! You just can't go in a circle.
Yeah.
Yeah,
No,
you're going.
that's fine.
Yeah. So anyway, we'll do it. We'll go skiing. But
Yeah.
look, let's get into the meat and potatoes.
Yeah, the meat and potatoes. Because I had to actually tell you that I didn't post it, you
Yeah.
know,
Yeah.
which leads
Yeah.
us to our topic today.
Yeah, which is amazing that you do. There's a perfect segue because I would have noticed that, but I don't have social media anymore. As of Saturday, I totally got rid of everything. The only thing that still exists is Twitter, and I don't look at it. It's
Mm.
totally deleted. It's the least popular one that I even mess with anyway. But I have one social media account, and I didn't check Twitter in the first place, but that's the only one that I have. So no Facebook, no Instagram, no Snapchat, none of those. So I it's been interesting
Yeah,
to say the least.
I'm sure. I'm sure. I've been mostly off. Now you tell me you completely uninstalled, correct?
Yeah.
And disconnected.
Hmm.
Okay. I guess I did that for a while. So would you say you've gone cold turkey?
Yeah, I'm going cold turkey. I have completely just given up the whole thing, and I just I don't want anything to do with it at this time. So it's
What brought about this decision? I know what brought about my decision when I came off of it. Uh, and now I guess I don't even know if dabble is the right word. I don't doubt. I may total for a week. I may go on. I haven't been on Facebook at all. I've gone back on Instagram, but Instagram is a lot different because I can choose who and what I want to see
yeah.
better. Yeah. So I only follow very specific, and it may be 5 people.
Mm.
And I'm usually only on there for in a week's time. I might be on there 10 minutes. So but no, it had the addiction runs in my family as we've discussed before. And when I first kind of felt it having any kind of control over me,
Hmm.
I was like, and notice kind of what it was, I don't want to say doing to me, but doing to me, I guess. And then I was going through some other things, and I just wanted to turn the noise off. That's how I
Hmm.
first went off of it. I just wanted to turn all the noise off and be able to hear myself, hear God. And so that's how I first went off of it. But that's why I went off of it.
I don't know. Mine was more like same reason. I did feel there was an addiction. I was feeling like I was feeling some things in life, and I didn't understand why, and I wanted to. And last year's journey was about understanding fears and things that control my life, and this year's journey is about discipline. And as I've been competing in these 5Ks and running and stuff, I've kind of like started to hone in on the things that distract me and uh, just kind of keep me from where I need to be.
Yeah.
And I kind of did a self assessment of life, of the places and times where I've been most happy in my life.
Okay.
And a similar thing kept coming up was I was not, it was times before Facebook became a really big thing in my life. Um, and I started feeling a lot of things. So when I first decided to do it, of course, you have to talk to some friends about it because this is a big decision, right? You're cutting social media. This is stupid that it's a big decision. Like I shouldn't need to talk to my friends to make sure I'm making the right decision about cutting Facebook and all these other things, but we do. We talk about it, and so I brought up the reasons of just like um, I watched Demi Lovato was talking to a news channel about self-perception and body
Mm-hmm.
imaging. And
Okay.
they were saying people on Facebook have a 40%, or people that are heavy on social media have a 40% less perception of their body due to social media. And it's very interesting. And I found that to be crazy because I'm running trying to improve my body image. And this is like 40% basically is saying you're doing 100% of the work to get better, minus 40% every day because you're on Facebook. And I was like, well, that's counterproductive. I'm only getting 60% effort. That would explain why I competed the way I did in the last race. So, there was anger. There's a lot of anger. I was a very angry person. And I was angry at stupid people. And I was so confused. There were so many stupid people in the world. Like, God, they're everywhere. Just stupid people. I just can't deal with them. And then I was tired of hearing people complaining and people just being mean. And I was like, and so I mustered up and I said, all right, I'm going to do it. All right, I'm going to cut the Facebook page. And you go to that point, and this was the thing that really drove me over that point when I say addiction is a big thing that you got to pay attention to a lot of those. And we'll jump into some bullet points here in a little bit after I talk about the story. But you get to this screen and they check you and they say, hey, we're going to deactivate your Facebook page. Everything's going to go away. Are you sure you want to do this? And this wave of fear just rushed over my body. And I was terrified.
Do you know why?
I think because of all of the things that I had convinced myself that I needed it for. I needed it to find 5K races. I needed it to stay in contact with people. I needed it. But at the end of the day, I didn't need it before. And there are people who are very high functioning people who don't utilize Facebook. We think they do. We think they utilize social media, but they're never there and doing things on social media. So I pushed the button and it's gone, and I felt good. And Saturday went by, and it was okay. It's always nice the first day. Look at me, I'm doing something different. Yeah, I went to the gym. That second morning, that Sunday morning, I woke up, usual time, about 7 o'clock. And when I say that was the longest day of my life, like it was long, the day was long. I was like, Jesus, it's only 1 o'clock, only one. It's 1:45. Oh my God, what time? 1:47. Like,
so did you feel yourself? You felt yourself needing to fill the time with social media?
I found myself wondering why the day is so long right now.
Okay.
And then it hit me as like, how much time do I really spend scrolling on a weekend that takes up so much time that a day doesn't seem that long?
How much time do you think you actually?
I'm gonna say
that you used to spend on average a day.
I'm gonna say 3 to 4 hours, easy.
3 to 4 hours.
3 to 4 hours, and it. I remember waking up. I say I remember it like it was years ago.
Yeah,
it was eons ago. Now the time.
You're new on your sobriety, right?
Yeah, time is different when you're not in the matrix. It moves differently.
Okay.
So, many cycles ago in the moon cycles, when I would wake up, it'd be about 30, 40 minutes and I could just sit in the bed and just scroll, look through Facebook, laugh, do little comments and stuff. Maybe go sit on the toilet, just, keep reading, scrolling, responding to stuff. You got to respond to everybody's stuff. People say stupid stuff. You got to respond to stupid people, right? And then I would get up, and of course you check it before you go in the gym, and then I realized like I would be taking pictures to post on Instagram, and the time that it would take to take that picture and make sure that picture looked right, and then post to Instagram, and then make sure it posts to Facebook, and then go back and respond because now I have all these bring people saying something about this cake I made or whatever. And you go, girl, look, it's 11 o'clock at night. I need to go to bed. And you haven't really done anything. Yeah, it ran fast.
It ran fast.
And then you go lay down in the bed, and what do? You read some more Facebook posts. You check your Instagram. You got to make sure that you checked all your messages and responded to everybody because that's the game, you know. And so I realized as I sat there on Sunday watching basketball, the endless amount of basketball that is March Madness without social media to tweet about and to look to other people and go, oh, did you see that play? Blah, 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 blah. The day was long. But it frustrated me because of how much time I lost. And another thing that made me really cut it was as I'm still single, I say that so bad, like I'm still single, but as I'm single, I started to wonder how many opportunities to meet someone did I lose because I wanted to check Facebook or someone was trying to catch my eye.
Do you think you were really implanted in it that much to miss
Yeah,
opportunities, so to
yeah,
speak?
yeah.
Okay.
Because I would think about like I would get to a place and first thing I'm doing is taking pictures, you know, or hanging out. Even sometimes while I'm there, I'm still gonna check Facebook just to see what's going on because it might be a downtime and something we're doing, or you know, I'm hanging with the fellas and you know they're playing whatever bowling. It's not my turn, so I'm just you know scrolling, posting
Mm,
pictures of them doing what they're doing, you know,
mm.
and
It's funny you say that because I had looked up, not to cut you off, but that was
please,
one of the ways to know how that you were, if you're addicted, is if
yeah,
you find yourself uh scrolling and on social media when you're actively out with friends and family that you should be engaged with. Like
yeah.
maybe not just sitting at the house, but just, like out to dinner or out bowling or whatever have you.
The concert. I was at the
Yeah, okay.
concert, and you got the people who are at the concert, and they
Okay, what concert is this?
any of them. Just
Okay.
name any of them. Any of them.
Okay.
You'll see people doing that all day long.
Okay.
They'll be like this, you know, and you miss moments. And I'm
Okay.
sitting there watching these people, and I'm like, you're implanted in that. And so all of those things, and I was like, you know what? We're going to change life. And my motto for the year is broad sweeping changes. Nothing happens without broad sweeping changes. And that was it. I decided that day that I was not going to drink alcohol anymore. Um, I can have a little wine and or a beer or two if I'm out, but knowing that alcohol is processed in your body the same way that arsenic would be, like rat poisoning would be processed in your body,
Okay. Yeah.
and
Okay.
that I was like, you know what, let's cut that too. You know, let's cut the bad shit. Period. So
Okay. How is that going? Because I mean, now essentially, well, I don't want to call your the drinking and was the drinking an addiction?
I think the idea of the drinking was an addiction.
Okay.
Um, I think wanting the drink. I used to drink every day after work. Come home, make some drinks, play video games, you know, hang out with the fellas, you
It
know,
was
on
part of the habit and routine.
part of the habit and routine. And I was like, you know what? We want to change things. And a friend of mine, uh, Kristen, said, if you're not doing things right now that align with your future, then you're wasting your present time right now. So where I want to go with more race medals and stuff, getting my body into a healthier rhythm is not going to come with me dumping poison into it every night, you know, by the milliliter, by the liter or whatever amount I did. So I had to make that decision. Like I said, this year's a lot of things. It's about discipline. And so that went out the wayside. So after all the panic and fear was over with, I did become and get this feeling of being free
Okay.
of like whatever the thing that was like holding me, and I started to recognize colors and shapes again in,
Okay.
in the
Well,
world.
do you fear relapse?
No,
Okay.
not this time. So one thing about me is when I challenge myself to do something, I'm the only one that can challenge myself to do it.
Okay.
And letting myself down when I put myself in this particular challenge mode is a big
Okay.
disappointment.
Okay.
So, going out, someone's like, "Do you want to have a drink?" Like, let me get some wine or some beer. Like, that's it. Like, you know, I gotta have a sub 30-minute time in the 5K. Let me get a sub 30-minute time in the 5K. I'll have a mojito. You know, maybe if we have a Kentucky Derby party, I'll have like a mint julep or something, kind of celebrate. But getting like overindulging or more than one alcohol drink, nah. Like I'm strong, but I can't take that much rat poison.
Well,
So
I mean, okay, yeah, okay. You're speaking on the relapse of the alcohol. What
no,
about
I'm talking about
you're
Facebook
talking about
too.
vape too?
Like, yeah,
Okay, okay,
no,
okay, okay, okay.
because and it's funny as I did research for this show, all of these things I was feeling are these points that I'm about to bring up and we're going to kind of talk about
Yeah.
in this article. And the article is titled "The Emotional Side Effects and Benefits of Quitting Social Media."
Okay. Yeah.
Shout outs Fox 26 in Houston for the article. I don't know who wrote this. Let me see if there's somebody's name. Mary Jo Rapini. Shout outs on the Houston Morning Show.
Okay.
So, number one thing they say is you stop comparing yourself to others,
Wait. Okay.
which I thought was very interesting. And I'm going to read these because it's very interesting. It
Hmm.
says you discover an initial 1 to 2 week period when you experience fear of missing out. FOMO. Did you know social media, the algorithms are designed to create fear of missing out? Because the things that you are only seeing are events that you
That
wish
you
that
want to
you would
do.
have been there. And
Hmm.
so without it, you have a fear of, oh, I'm not going to know if somebody had a baby. I'm not going to know if this happened. I'm not going to know anything about these things. So, um, but this will pass and transform into a new freedom of self acceptance. You will lose your drive to compare your life to those of others and begin the process of self awareness, engaging in activities that add value to your life and uplift you. I was like, it's kind of what I said I was
Yeah.
looking for.
Yeah.
Um, which and these are very interesting because social media is still very new. So these are a lot of sociological studies that are very recent. Do
Hmm. This study is on adults,
I would
or this
assume
on
so.
okay, because I
I
found
didn't read
I
most
would
of
talk
this.
about I found a study. I think most of the studies that I found are actually done, I guess, for long term have been on the adolescent brain, but I mean, adults obviously become addicted to things as well. So I'd imagine
This one is
it's
covers most of it. It's had an
uh-huh.
interesting thing about Instagram, the negative body imaging among young girls using Instagram versus Facebook too.
Well,
Um,
and like again, I think people like to pin. I'll speak for myself. People like to say young people because we would like to assume they're the ones that are heavily influenced, but obviously that's not true.
yeah, no,
Commercials are for adults.
yep,
That's nothing but influence, right?
yeah.
So, like you said, with the body image, for me, like I said, I was very aware of mine not getting out of hand. So I never spent that much time on social media to
Hmm.
start with. I
Hmm.
never really lived to here, I need to get this picture so I can put it on social media. I never really got to that point. But when it did come to just scrolling and seeing, like you said, it's a combination of things. It was a combination of things for me. But you hear it in the music, you see it on the TV, then it's attacking you as you're scrolling on social media. And so for me, I'd be like, well, okay, what I'm hearing is supposed to look good. Now that's all I'm seeing. I
Hmm.
don't look like that. I'm not re- I'm not fit, or I don't fit into what this is supposed to look like on here. And like you said, if you're constantly digesting that, even unbeknownst to you in your subconscious, that's being implanted that I am not that, I'm not good.
Hmm. And that's one of the things that they were saying is, um, let's see, where is it?
Now this is not era. Some people can, maybe some people, just like you have some people, you don't think so, you making a face. Some people can block that out, and it's fine for them.
Mhm.
But you have some people say I only do coke on on holiday.
Sure you do. Guarantee somebody bring that toot on Tuesday. You gonna it's impolite to not partake.
It's not polite. No, it's not the eve of Christmas. I can't do that.
Yep. Yep.
Holidays on federal holidays only.
That's it.
So okay, so you don't buy that.
No, no. Yeah, I
Okay.
think you're taking it in regardless of what you say because uh, another reason why I say that was because remember I mentioned the anger thing, and it says you feel less anger. Real people do not devolve into Facebook rants or Twitter conflict. Social media amplifies anger and meanness, creating a caustic situation. Engaging with the virtual world often involves angry memes or insults to your post. Your real
Mm-hmm.
life neighbors and friends are more connected with your life, family, and yard and easier to get along with.
Mm-hmm.
And I was one of those people like, I'm not really taking it in.
Oh,
I,
but
you know,
you fight with anybody.
you say, I'm like an angry leprechaun that's been drinking and got a pot of gold behind
I'm
him. I'm
telling
ready.
you, yeah, look, you live for getting into the forums to just fight with me. This,
That's it. And then
yeah,
they just
no,
set
yeah,
it
yeah,
on fire and poof,
yeah, yeah, yeah.
you didn't even respond.
No, yeah,
But
okay.
I think it does it leaves you with this sense of just it is a environment. It is virtual. You know, I've been on the internet for years, like when AOL was crunk, and there was like virtual bullying at that time, and so once you kind of realize like it's the same thing, you know, it, it became tiresome, and then I'm realizing like I am angry, and I was angry at the people I was seeing on Facebook that were stupid because stupid people make me angry. So why am I going to continue to watch a bunch of stupid people? And people go, well, just follow the people that you want. It's like, do you know how many people in America are stupid? Like I would have like 12 Facebook friends, and then there'd be no point in really having Facebook at that point. I can call and keep up with 12 people, but 787 or 1700, you know,
Well, but that's also part of it. That's the false illusion. Those 700, them not your real, those are not real friends. Those are not,
which
you
brings
can't,
up
yeah,
it bring,
it's a pseudo investment, but you're not really invested in the people. And you're not really sometimes invested in yourself, nor the people that are standing right before you.
and that's what brings up point number two from our article. You feel greater gratitude to real people who reach out and connect with you. Once you recover from the recognition that many of your followers weren't real friends, you will begin feeling more grateful for those who check in with you and desire to physically spend time with you. This raises self confidence and restores a feeling of connection to a real community rather than a virtual and sometimes hostile one.
Hmm.
You sense this realness on a deeper and psychologically healthier level.
Hmm.
Huge problem in our communities right now is we can't reach each other
Mm.
because we're all behind computer screens all the time looking at posts of what's not real.
Hmm.
So it does like reaching out and talking to you and doing this show, you know, has made me appreciate you. Like I wouldn't know if you where you were if I didn't call you. You'll post on Facebook. You know, I can't keep up with you that way. You know, if I did, I'd see you once every six. Oh, there she is. Look at her.
Look out.
Look at her. Look at her. There
Look
she is.
out.
You know.
Well, it triggers the one thing I did also, I took notification off so I don't even get that ding. Because we become like lab rats. You're trained to respond to the ding, you
Mm-hmm.
know. So I stopped that, and then yeah. So when you're not constantly looking for, so when you get the ding and looking and oh, they like me, they really like me, and you get that sensation. It's a dopamine. It's like a real, it's a high. It's a real study. That's a real thing. And
Mm-hmm.
so then what do you want to do? You got to chase that high, and so now, and unless you have a real sense of awareness and check on yourself, you build tolerance to these highs. So now you're up in the ante of what you'll do, say, and like you said, if you're not aware, you're unconsciously doing. spending the time on there, whatever the post, arguing with people, whatever that may be, and you're giving that giving that energy and people energy that don't really deserve it and don't really need it. And like you said, you keep calling me. Uh, what's the old saying? You arguing with a fool, sometimes it's hard for people to know who's the fool.
Fact.
So
Fact.
it's like you said, some people gonna have their opinions. They're gonna have their perspective. Again, why does that concern you with everybody?
And it's funny because that goes to number 5 on the
Okay,
list.
come on with it.
You won't receive as many birthday wishes, but those you do are meaningful. Social media amplifies your feeling of importance on your birthday or other special occasions. Strangers will offer wishes for a happy birthday and or congratulations for life events. These well wishes boost your endorphins, increasing your desire for more. Don't allow yourself to get sucked into this loop. Although their thoughts are wonderful, they lack the worth and real greetings you receive from people who truly know you and are present in your life through good times and bad. It's exactly what you said. Legitimately, exactly what you said. It's designed to get you, like you said. It's Pavlovian response, very much so. Is ding, look, somebody said something they liked about you, and you're going to see those, and they're always going to see and post those things, so you see it and you run to it. And like you said, you get sucked into that loop, and that was part of that thing that I was realizing is like I'm sucked into that loop. Like I have to make a comment, I have to say something. I woke up and another thing that just really pissed me off was the phrase, someone needs to hear this. I'm not sure who.
Okay.
Why don't you shut the fuck up? How about that? Maybe nobody needs to hear it. Let God tell everybody what they need to tell. But if you don't know who needs to hear it, then don't you just be walking out in the middle of the street talking about, now look at it. Everybody that's got the blue hair on don't need to go for no job interview. I'm just saying somebody needs to hear that. Don't nobody want to hear what you got to say.
Well, I won't say that. I think everybody has something to say. I think that there is a time and place for that to happen. I think, like you said, in this situation, when it begins to anger you, when it begins to create anxiety, but all this comes from a greater self awareness of how it's truly, and you being honest with why you're doing it and how it truly makes you feel, right? So so everybody wants and deserves to be heard, but if it's doing these negative effects to me and it's coming from folks that don't, non-factors, but you got to be realistic with that. Just because it's good stimulation doesn't mean it's factor or it's right for you either. So you have to know what to tune out and who to tune out. And for me, because it's so much coming at you, I don't want to have to, or I wasn't at a place at the time to know how to compartmentalize and receive it and deal with it like that. It just became noise to me, and I didn't, like I said, I just want everybody to shut. I didn't want to hear nobody's opinion but my own, and that kind of thing. So, but but I think it can have its purposes, but I'm with you because of how it's designed. Most of the outlets, or at least the ones how it's designed, it's very hard for most people to block that out.
That's funny. Once again, you might have must have read this article because we go into number 6. Disconnecting from social media lowers your phone's priority and allows you the time to engage with the world. You reflect upon experiences and notice the details of life lost when your head looked down at your phone. These recollections and changes in perspective enhance your emotional intelligence and connect you to yourself and others in new ways. The most important relationship you have is with yourself. And you cannot foster a healthy relationship with yourself when you allocate most of your time to appeasing your social media feed.
Okay.
I was like, that's self-love right there. That's the ultimate. And so I had this self-reflection, like
Yeah.
how much time did I lose? Like
What?
Lowering my head, look down at my phone. Experiences and life lost by looking down at my phone.
Here's the other thing that it's hard. It's becoming harder in this society. I mean, look at us. We talking about don't like social media, but we asking people to watch us on the YouTube. It's kind of hypocritical too.
Look, don't do as I say. Do as you want to do. Don't.
No, do as I say, not as I do.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah,
Don't be me, but watch me.
but yeah, but I think it is what each person has to decide and be real. But I think again, with self-awareness comes your boundaries. With self-awareness, you're able to create boundaries for yourself as well. That only, like you said, you mentioned earlier, adhering to your goals, pushing, doing yourself. But you have to be aware and honest with yourself and set boundaries that keep you mentally, all that health, all that balance and healthy. And then I think it's very much, like you said, obtainable to do. Break setting your time limits, checking off your notification, knowing what your triggers are, being honest with why you feel the need to share everything, or or what it does to you to get responses or likes, love, whatever, no, that kind of thing. You mentioned earlier feeling the need to respond to the comments. That for me also went outside. That was a revelation for me, and just within my life, the need to explain myself. And so even when it came to emails, text messages, I just because I receive it or you send it don't mean I got to respond right then and there either.
Mhm.
But that that carried on both social media and off. But
But see, and you seem to be, and this is a personality trait too. Like can I set boundaries and exist? Yes. However, sometimes I just want to just cut things, and I have noticed in my life when I cut certain things, my productivity increases. Um,
well, that's you being self-aware and knowing what you need, can handle, all of that.
yeah, and it's like you don't, once again, during work in a meeting, nobody's talking.
Hmm. Hmm.
So just a lot of time I've lost, but it's it's Thursday. Today, Thursday?
No, but
Yeah.
today's Wednesday.
See, I don't even know what day it is. I just know it's another one. They
Yeah.
keep coming. You know, there's no happy hump day meme
Yeah.
or none of that. Like I got to look at a calendar, but as I drive around, I look at stuff. As I'm sitting outside, on the patio earlier, I'm looking at this rabbit on the ground, and all of a sudden I realize there's two rabbits because I couldn't see the other one because it was camouflaged so well.
Okay.
And then they started playing with each other and stuff. And I was like, oh, look at that. I was like, I should take a picture of that and what? Post it to where? You know, and the neighbor's bug zapper. Psst, 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 psst. Oh, I should take a video of that and send it to Insta. Nope, can't do it. And every time I tell myself one of these things, I'm like, ooh, like again, I find myself today right before the show, sat down, grabbed my phone. Now I can tell you what the weather's going to be like for the next 24 hours. Really, you know,
Yeah.
high tomorrow will be 76.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
Starting at
It,
12
it keep
a.m.
changing. It keep changing. Yeah.
71, south wind at 10
I,
miles an hour.
I read more. Well, I read some news, or I try to stay unplugged from a lot because social media has its own noise, but the world has its own noises that I try to stay away from too. So, but yeah.
Yeah, trust me. I'm well aware of what's going on CNN right now. Fox
You
4
are.
News, I'm aware of the shooting that was in Oak Cliff at the wing stop that I used to go with.
Oh
For
no,
2
see, I
hours.
don't know about none of that.
Oh
See,
no,
I know how to grow fish, eat fish or something. If it's I know about Elsa and Anna, Barbie,
Ooh, look, look.
and Ruby, Rainbow Ruby. You know, if it's that, I got it.
I'm gonna tell you, you need to get you a local news app so you can know. I'm telling you, this is for one thing, and just listen to me because you have youngins, and this is a thing of safety. It's not just a thing of being connected.
Okay.
That way, you know where stuff is going down. These people went to a vigil for someone who had been shot, and then there was a drive by the next day. I mean, at the vigil,
Okay,
like,
but how does me having an app? This is my argument
mm-hmm,
with my kids. One is that they're we're kind of gearing off, but they're with me or some adult.
yeah.
Me having an app. If I'm on my way to a visual, unless the people on their way to shoot up the visual are telling me that they on their way, how how would my life change with this app?
But what if you don't know? I'm not saying you're going to the vigil, but what if you were like, oh, I'm gonna go to this place that's around this area? All I'm saying is it's going down at this corner little area over there in Oak Cliff in
Okay,
Redbird. And so
okay.
my thing is with the app, I see where things are happening and I try to avoid those areas, is what I'm saying.
That's a false, in my opinion, that's a false sense of control because it's things going on everywhere. So
True.
you can't, you can't. To me, that just adds a layer of fear that is both accurate and not at the same time.
Well, for someone who deals in data, uh, I can look at a data map of crime and say,
Okay, but okay, but in general, I'm from here, right? I'm
mhm,
from Dallas.
mhm.
I don't need that app to tell me where not to generally be, and you know that's true.
And that's true. Yeah,
Okay,
that's fine. So
okay,
maybe people out there, if
okay.
you're disconnected and you just don't know,
No, I mean I
you're
don't live
localized.
under a shoe. You know what I'm
Okay.
saying? So
All right.
I can hear, I see the guns, and I'm not blind nor deaf yet, thank God.
Yeah.
So I don't really need. That's just me. All that to me, all that we're gonna get back on the track. Overindulgent in world things too, in my opinion, also adds to the anxiety that you get from social media because it gives you a sense of you being in the know and you able to control this and you're able to avoid danger in that, in the sense of you can only way for you truly avoid, and even there that's not 100%, is to live under a rock and not do anything. But other than that, having these apps, because if it's already happened, it's gonna be blocked off. I can't go that way. I'm gonna see the scatter. People gonna be running. I can't run into the people. Let me make this U-turn. But
But what if the man is still on the loose?
I'm not gonna open the car for him.
But it don't matter. But what if you don't know? And he just running out, Grand Theft Auto, throwing people out the car and stuff, and you're like, I'm about to go get some milk. And then he by the Walmart. I'm not trying to tell you that you need to get the app.
Okay.
I will retake that
Okay,
statement
no.
back. You can't
Okay.
take my statement.
Okay. And
But what I'm
furthermore, I
telling
got
you,
you. You watching CNN. So
Doc,
you text
I'm
me,
telling you,
hey, Ad, don't go over here.
tornadoes coming. They say
Oh,
it's gonna be
okay,
there by
that's
7:30.
weather alerts I got. I
Okay,
got weather alert.
okay, because I'll be on that. Like I told you, I'll be scrolling.
I got weather alert.
That's the reason we got on that is because that's how I get my scrolling fix right now is to read
Right.
the news.
Okay.
Now
That's the same.
eventually,
That's
yeah,
hand to mouth habit. Uh-huh.
yeah, something. I look,
So you
I'm
get
not
your scroll. Yeah, I
okay. I
got
can
you.
see that. I'm reading the article, and eventually, I get bored with the news. It really does. It happens. But the weather app, I love weather. I like to tell you, you can always ask me, what's the weather going to be like for the next 12 days?
You got
Well,
it.
on Tuesday, you're going to be really shocked because
You're
you
gonna
might want to get your coat out. It's going to be great. Every morning, I'm telling you, feels like 68, but it's
Yeah.
really
Yeah.
72. Like,
Yeah.
I got your
Look,
weather report. I'm all over that, but
look. I
I'm
want
done.
I wanted to tell you, okay, going back to about the study. It was a UNC Chapel Hill study that was released January of this year, where they followed 169 adolescents for over 3 years. And they found that the habitual checking of social media was linked with subsequent changes in how their brains responded to the world around them. And that those that checked, the answers among these were how often do you normally check it? They range from once a day to over 20 times a day. And for those that checked more than 15 times a day, they became more sensitive to the social feedback. You mentioned their emotional um, response and self esteem. So, this was a study, and this one, being a no one would research this one over those years. That's a decent amount of of, uh, I can't even think of the word, but 169 people to study over that amount of time gives you a significant look at the role that it plays on the brain and development, the self-esteem, and all that kind of stuff.
And I also read in one of these studies that once you quit social media, the re-engaging with people, you will get along with people in your family a lot better sometimes because you re-engage with the world and you starting to see who really cares about you and who doesn't care about you. So um, I'm not saying that family relationships are going to change now that I'm off of Facebook.
Yeah, yeah.
But I can say this much: I am happier. I
Okay.
can't admit that I'm happier. I can't admit I feel better.
And
Just
this is directly, you think, due to because you've only been off for 3 days, 4 days. Okay.
yeah,
Okay.
I do
I'm not
feel
questioning you. I just want to be clear.
no. Trust me. I'm being aware of the experience is a big thing right now, and that became another part of why I wanted to disconnect from it because I needed to be aware of what I was experiencing and to sit there and go, I'm gonna do what I want to do today, and there's no way that anybody can judge me because if they do, I'll never know about it. Like, what I can't even see it on Facebook if I post a picture. Like, I don't take selfies. What's the point? Oh, look at me, I'm cute. Okay, you know, I'm just in front of a bathroom mirror. Like, who cares? Like, I'll wait to take a picture with my friends when we're doing something. And if I get posted on social media and someone sees me, they'll be like, "Hey, there he is. Look at him. I ain't seen him in 6 months." Like, yeah, well, if you know me, call me. We can hang out. But other than that, like, nah, I just don't want to be involved anymore. I am done with the social media experience. Like,
Okay.
that's it. Count me
Okay.
out. Now,
Well, I'm not gonna say I'm totally done. I will say that I'm very conscious and aware of how I feel I need and want to utilize it. I'm in my phone more now than ever, but I'm also less social on there than I used to be. Okay. That's from Dre Mays.
yeah, and that happens, which is fine. We'll jump there right quick. That actually happens. Like a lot of people, they call them Facebook stalkers, where you just see the stuff, but you
Yeah.
don't really interact as much as you want. And it's a lot of funny stuff. And granted, it's great entertainment.
Yeah, no, yeah, I can attest to that because, like you said, now we get our entertainment.
Mhm.
I mean, streaming, all these things, like you said, even because I know one of I think the three top social media addictions are from Facebook. They said Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube is what my research showed. Okay, not YouTube for real,
No,
but
not us,
but
somebody else.
but when especially when it comes to YouTube, I would imagine maybe that's how you utilize YouTube as well. I don't know because I don't know if you get that whole scrolling thing with YouTube, or I really maybe that's I need to look into that how that one's the same type of addiction or vibe because but I say that now I know a lot of times um again it's being aware and knowing not making an excuse, but a lot of shows that you watch are from YouTube. You get different so I don't know how that applies and
Well,
in that, but
I don't know if your children are at that age yet, but most of these preteens and teens that have abilities to get to YouTube,
Mhm.
That's all they watch. They watch people play games on YouTube.
Yeah,
You know,
no,
I,
yep.
my niece will go to sleep with YouTube with Roblox videos going.
Oh, baby, Roblox.
And
Shout out to baby Roblox. Yes.
everywhere. And so I'm sitting here like, it's 3 in the morning and there's some fool in some blockhead thing running around, and see, there he is. Like,
The tube is where it's at. Yeah.
shout outs to them jail runners.
No, my son only watches YouTube. Only. That like is Roblox. Some go fit. I don't know, but it's a catch-22 because he's also he has been into dinosaurs.
Mhm.
All that pronouncing, knowing which one's a herbivore, all that shit came from YouTube. I didn't teach him. I don't know that.
Yeah.
So it's one of those things that now, especially as he's getting older, like he was on punishment from his iPad. Like with these kids, you don't gotta whoop them. Just mention you gonna take iPad away. They'll be ready to scrub the brick outside with a toothbrush. Okay, whatever it takes not to take it away. So trying to balance him being not in the know, I don't want to say that, but how to access these things and seeing it can be good that comes from it. Seeing, hey, yeah, this game that you like, there's somebody that developed this game
Mhm.
that, so trying to get them to see and fall in love with that aspect of it. So balancing that, but also balancing his addiction
Yeah.
or his potential addiction with it. Like, no, take your ass outside. No,
Hmm.
we're going outside. So,
It's a rough thing. It teaches you, but like you said, I think the biggest part with that being a parent is being a parent and being able to establish those boundaries, like you said earlier, and keeping those boundaries
well,
enforced.
that's the part keeping them. Right now at 6, I'm way bigger than him. So
Hmm.
the ranking is very clear. And I know, that tends to get more difficult as they get older and they get more independence and they're not around you and needing and looking to you for everything. That gets harder to do, but I mean, it still has to be done, I guess, but
Well, good
I'm
luck.
not going to I'm not going to negate the idea of it being much harder to do.
You'll probably have, if I'm a son, and you'll have a long time before they're just like, oh, I don't totally need you. You'll be like, what? Like, you're a good mom, and I look at my sister and she sets boundaries and she's interactive with her and everything that she does, and my niece is a very good kid, very smart. And I think when you are a parent and you interact with your kids, you teach them things, you set those kind of boundaries and stuff like that. Your kids don't stray too far from those things and those values that you teach them. Um,
Let's see.
I- you
Here's
have,
praying.
yeah, you have those stray scatter points that do every now and then, but the majority of my friends had very well, good families, well-rounded families. Not wealthy or anything, but just well-rounded, good families, and they're well-rounded, good people right now, and they have good families. And so I think when you have those values, you have that mindset, you can give it to your children because you raise them with those loving arms around them versus just go out to society. It's like, no, let's go learn about society together.
Yeah.
So no, I think it's good. I think it's very powerful.
Yeah.
So
No, I haven't, like I said, when I kind of feared the idea that I would miss people because I think that's what I told, it's like you can connect with people on here and da 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 da. And for me and my personality, okay, like I just use the example, Dre Mays, to actually talk to him and, like hear his actual voice. I don't know how long that's been, but that's not to say that he doesn't enter my thoughts. His family, not just him, his like we grew up together. So that he doesn't enter my thoughts. And that's what I realized too. The people that made an impact on me and in my
mhm.
life, and this may be something I kind of need to work on, but I also don't think it necessarily matters. Um, I think about them. I pray for them even in that second, so the idea that I'm missing them per se, I've realized is not necessarily that true. Because here's the other thing. If I missed him that much, I call.
Yeah.
Or, but not to say, Dre, that I don't miss you like that, but you know what I'm saying. So, but yes, and like you said, for me, it's also kind of forced because my personality is I'm very bad at keeping contact. I realize that about myself. I'm really bad about actually picking up a phone and calling. And some of being off of social media, because one thing was if I just say hey or whatever, you get the idea that you're in their life.
Yep.
So you don't really have to too, but so like you said, talking to you, now other things have made this possible too, um but now it's one of those things that if I actually want to know something or really feel it, I also recognize that in myself and try to make the time to actually call or at least, if nothing else, text.
Yeah.
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 But
I like
well, I wish you luck on your sobriety journey,
Woo.
as I wish us all luck. I think the idea is to make sure that we are taking in with all of our senses and digesting things that, as you said before, like what you said, if it doesn't feed where you want to be, then there's no need to digest it.
I agree. But that is the perfect sentiment to end the show on. So next week we're gonna be back with the topic is what's
Not
our.
next week. We do 2 weeks. 2 weeks.
Oh,
2 weeks.
that's right. Look, I'm off.
You eager? You're
You've been in
good.
the
But I
mountains.
don't. That's fine. That's
Look,
fine.
I'm all sober and not on social
You
media.
ready to go?
My
You got the
productivity is
time.
like so. Tomorrow on the show, it's like
Wait, hold on. We every day?
it's like we're going 7 days a week, every day,
I'm
24
not.
hours a day.
I'm not ready.
Look, there you go. Social media does help stay contact with us. You got to do better. Look, love you too, bro.
Love you too.
And
Love you too.
you got my gamer tag for FIFA, so you need to hit me up so we can get some of that online FIFA action. And we will catch y'all later. Let me get rid of it.
See you in a minute.
And
Thank
y'all be
you.
good. Bye.
Bye.